I guess no time is better than the present. On the bottom of my display box, where I keep all my display quality artifacts, here on Indian Trace, we can look way down in there. I had a couple shout outs because when I started my videos and I looked down here and there's some smokers down here with the natural light. My goodness, I found this the other day. Don't forget that. A couple people said, what are those huge quartz points? Of course, there's a lot of rhyolite in North Carolina. Check that out. But right next to it was all the quartz points, the big ones. And you can see what size those are. So I just wanted to highlight those on the Heritage Series. Because chances are these ones, now look at the size of all these. I put my hands here. You can see by my fingers and get an idea of how long these pieces are. There's some big quartz points here. And I just wanted to give a good look at them. Because I know that there's going to come a time, and look at these things, when somebody's going to want to know. I don't know if they'll be separated or in their own frame, or they'll be in a box, or somebody's just going to have to make sense of them. So I think that if I document them digitally, as I'm doing here now, it'll make better sense to someone who needs to know. And you just never know, It's sort of like a living will, if you will, of how you feel about your pieces and your artifacts. And these are important things, so I figured it's worthwhile. It's a process of archaeology, if you will. Look at this point. This is an old point I found over at a friend's land. And it's all there, but it just had every inch of it worked, and it's real heavy and it's big. You can see it in my hands for quartz. And I know a lot of you guys who are well able to nap and what have you like to check out the quartz, because you know how hard it is to make maybe even the simplest point such as this out of quartz, out of a quartz boulder, if you can imagine. So with there not as many here, I'll try to give you both sides the best I can and keep an eye on my time and the focus. This is one of the first points that I found, which turned out to be a Guilford Yuma. And it's a mixed quartz, very smooth white quartz, but at the same time there's some other things in it that almost, when I get a close-up, almost look yellowish, or almost look like the faintest whispers in here. If I get a close-up, I'll show you, of granite. I know it's not, but there's another type of stone in here mixed in there. Volcanically, of course, that would happen. But one of the first points that really got me fired up to find artifacts. I was fighting when I first found it to look at it and say, that has to be a point. That has to be an artifact. Well, now I know for sure it is, and it's a Guilford Yuma, but I didn't know that. But you can't make a mistake with a point like this either, right here. That's a big piece of quartz. Eastern North Carolina just does good if you like artifacts to provide some, Don't know if my focus is cooperating, so forgive me if it's not focused. That's a nice point. I really like that. I found that at the plateau. Here's a nice point I found at the Hawk. We saw that to begin with, so I won't take too much time with it, but I will pick it up and let you check it out in terms of its size and see how it was built. Big hump on the back. It's all smooth. It's all worked on every tangent. That's big, though. They're all too big to put in the little cubbies, and so look at this piece. I think a lot of you guys really want to see this who work stone. This has to be the best work piece of quartz that I've ever found, if I can get the right focus on it. I mean the best. Little broken on the base there. This is crazy. And when I'm filming, I do not know how good it's all working out, so I just try to roll through it and give you a good exposure. Granted, that is quartz crystalline. That is quartz crystal. That is crazy to me, uh, in terms of what I've heard from people how to make it. Now, this one I found just last year, and it was on there, but it's a great piece of rose quartz. Big stuff. You check the flaking and what have you up. Just another opportunity to come to Indian Trace, just to pick up a couple pieces and get real close to some quartz crystal if you don't find it. Which it's got to be worthwhile. This stuff is valuable, for its antiquity alone. Look at this. Now, that's a point. That's big. And I found that this year at a new place that I call the Falcon. You've heard me mention it. That's all worked off at the bottom. It's not some big point somewhere. That's crazy. So look at the quartz, if you will, in this natural light. I tell myself all the time to try to go slower. If I have too many points, I just can't do it. They did the best they could with this now. This is not some obsidian or smooth flint. This is quartz crystalline. But I'm happy to have it here. I've been more appreciative towards it. I call it the white flint. See which direction I want to go. I think I'll go here. Look at this piece. More as we go a little more clear. It's all translucent. And I see guys out there that hold it up all the time and say, man, check that out, it's translucent. To me here in North Carolina, I really don't know any other. I don't know anything else other than translucent. But I don't always find them with screaming tips like that. Trying to see if my focus is working. Alright, let's look at this. This is that smooth, real white. Gotta love that. That came from Hidden Alley. This piece is another piece that was just magnificent in the way it was made. I mean, if you like quartz, and then you like large pieces, these are large quartz keepables, I guess you'd call them. So when I'm done with these, I think my objective in the Heritage Series is that somebody could watch them and feel like they've had an opportunity to come and just pick up pieces from my collection and get close enough where they could feel the weight and see the texture and the light. That's why I always try to do them in real good light. So as I finish up here with a couple really great pieces, this came from the Jump Off, fairly new area that I've been hunting hard this last year and finding a lot of great points like this. This is crazy. This point was actually found about 20 feet into the field that's only about 50 yards from my car. It's funny. That's a nice point. Always did like that point. And then check this one out. One of my favorites. This base is not broken at all. It's a tannish orangish material. The base is relieved. Man, sorry about the focus. Watching my time too closely. The base is relieved a little right there, if you can see it. And it's worked off the base. They went with it. Probably broke a little chunk that they didn't want to if they were thinking about making it perfect in terms of symmetrical or what have you. Perfect to them was something that hafted well and did the job they needed to. And once this hafted, you can take a look at this point. It would do the job it needed to. My gracious. One of my favorite points though. Big and long and devastating. So anyway, as I finish out with this great point, thanks a lot for tuning in to Indian Trace. Getting a chance just to do some pro bono work, I guess, close up and personal. But anyway, I guess all I can say is hope you come again.